How to weight loss without diets. When you were a kid, were you ever told the Aesop's fable about the tortoise and the hare? Well, the story goes that the arrogant hare was constantly boasting about how fast he could run and how he believed nobody could outrun him. And the tortoise was so fed up with his arrogant comments that she challenged him to a race. So the next day, the race started, and the hare shot off, and the tortoise took one step at a time. The hare kept on running. The path was long, and the day was warm. And the hare decided that he was so far ahead that he'd rest for a while in the shade of a bush. And soon he was fast asleep, snoring his head off. The tortoise kept taking one step at a time. 3 long hours later, one of them crossed the finishing line. And I wonder whether it was the hare or whether it was the tortoise. In fact, it was the tortoise who took one step at a time. In the same way, there are 2 approaches to losing weight: the hare's approach and the tortoise's approach. The hare's approach or strategy is what most people have done for years. They've gone on a strict diet and lost weight, and sometimes lots of weight. However, they usually have not been able to keep it up. They've given up. And when they've given up and are putting back on all the weight they lost, and sometimes even more than they lost, those people who adopted the other strategy, the tortoise strategy, are taking one step at a time. They're making sure that it is okay to be the size and shape that they want to be. They're learning a new way of relating to themselves and their body, and to food and eating. Which means that this way beyond diets, can take longer, and at first might seem much slower. However, it wins in the end. With this approach beyond diets, beyond the old way of self-punishment through dieting, you learn to be kind to yourself. And you accept that there was a reason that you decided to be overweight, even though you most likely made that decision on an unconscious level. So that means this is not a quick fix. It's a whole new way of life. So let yourself enjoy the process and take your time. Take all the time you need to reassure yourself that it is okay to look good and to feel good about the way you look. It's about letting yourself take all the time you need to take this next step in your life. All the time you need to step out of that old way of being and into your new size and shape. And for some people this can happen quickly, and for others they need to take a bit more time. So trust the process and allow yourself to take all the time you need to feel safe to be this new size and shape, and for it to feel okay for you to do this. We know that diets don't work long term to lose weight. We know that going on a diet actually causes your appetite to increase, and not just due to emotional reasons, but also due to an increase in the hormones responsible for appetite. You see, when you go on a diet, your body thinks it's starving, and to protect you from the danger of starving, it sends you messages to eat more. So do get clear about your goal, and then take one step at a time. And most of all, do trust the process. Now, trusting the process does not mean doing nothing and going to sleep like the hare. It means take your time and take one step at a time. This program works to lose weight long term. We've seen it work again and again and again. And we're interviewing people who are ready to be interviewed, to share with you that it does work, and to share with you that it does take time, and it takes thinking in a new way. It takes treating yourself well. It takes being kind to yourself. It takes a willingness to take one step at a time.